Shalum, Shalum, and welcome to the White Rose Family Channel. My name is Symmanayah if you're tuning in for the first time, and these are the words I'm compelled to present. Before awakening, set-apart nation, to Yashar'al, consisting of 12 tribes. There will be 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter. There will be a great multitude of many nations, kindreds, and tongues. There will be those who will be martyrs for Yahusha's name, and there will be those who will be led astray and fall to the wayside due to unbelieving or being unlearned and seduced by the wicked. I present this series to you, my brothers and sisters, called Bridges and Connections. Why? Because in these final days, O Yashar'al, we will see all the differences that we have among us. Great corrections will come to unite us, to fulfill the final exodus and more. Great corrections will come so that our eyes are opened to know what is indeed true and correct. And I believe that there will be bridges extended to the unlearned and undiscerning. And we will have opportunity to cross that gap that causes differences between us. We will have an opportunity to leave behind the weights or things we've been mistaught or taught incorrectly and cross that bridge into set-apartness, into correction, into improved worship. In this segment of Bridges and Connections, I want to talk about knowing enough. Knowing enough. And there are those that might say you can't know enough. But yes, there is a such thing as knowing enough. And I'll make my point. Come with me as I present that case. The scriptures often is presented before us that we, O Yashar'al, know how to govern ourselves, how to be mindful of what is expected. All too often, we forget, we neglect what's expected of us as set-apart children of Yahuah. Walking in wisdom requires pursuing knowledge from the Almighty Yahuah so that we know what to do, how to do it. The knowledge that helps us discern his living guidance. I will present the case of why this is very critical during these end of days. My brothers and sisters, it's necessary to establish focus and know our beginnings. And if you read Revelation 21:6 or 22:13, it informs us that Yahuah is the Aleph and the Tah, the beginning and the end. I won't read it to you for the sake of time, but know that it states that Yahuah is the Aleph and the Tah, the beginning and the end. I do want to read John 3:3 through 3:5, my brothers and sisters. Come with me to John 3:3 and 3:5. And as I stated, that other passage that I did not read was Revelations 21:6 and 22:13. But John 3:3 through 3:5 said, Yahusha answered and said to him, Truly, truly, I say unto you, unless one is born from above, he is unable to see the reign of the Almighty One. Nicodemus said to him, How is a man able to be born when he is old? Is he able to enter into his mother's womb a second time and be born? And Yahusha answered, Truly, truly, I say unto you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he is unable to enter into the reign of the Almighty One. It is important, Yashar'al, that in being born again, we recognize this is where our life begins with him. And there are things we must know. And there will be distractions to try to prevent us from gaining knowledge and growing into set-apartness. And I will talk about how those distractions could come across as weights, can come across as things that feel good but are wrong. John 3:6-8 says, "That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Do not marvel that I said to you, you have to be born from above. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear the sound of it, but do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So is everyone who has been born of the Spirit." It's letting you know the power and might of the Spirit of Yahuah in us, working in us. Come with me. Knowing enough can be viewed and interpreted in many ways. I want to encourage each of us to look at these words, knowing enough, as it relates to decision making. As it relates to decision making. You see, Yashar'al, as end times ramp up, the choices we make can make us or break us. The decisions that we embrace can make a difference between life and death in some cases. End times have begun to get intense. It will create a sense of urgency. We will soon recognize the need to manage our time wisely. Please direct your attention to the words knowing enough as it relates to identifying when to cut things off and purge unfruitful matters from us. There will be times where we are unable to purge and grasp the strength to come away. When those times come, my brothers and sisters, make no mistake, the Almighty Father will bring deliverance directly in spirit or through another, helping us to purge or helping us to walk away, knowing when to cut off. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. And let's dig into the depths of the life in 1 Corinthians 5:6 and Galatians 5:9. It says, your boasting, 1 Corinthians 5:6 say, your boasting is not good. Do not know that a little leaven leavens the entire lump? Galatians 5:9 say a little leaven leavens all the lump. Leaven is influence, my brothers and sisters. You see, if we let little things go without recognizing the damage a person can cause or that thing can cause, this will wreak havoc among us. There are fellowships, groups, and communities that tolerate compromising beliefs. There are different cliques that make the camps, the communities divided against themselves. Oftentimes the leader knows it, but he want to keep the numbers. Failing to realize that the scriptures say any house divided against itself can't stand. My brothers and sisters, when we see something that's wrong, we need to stop it in its tracks. We need to purge it. And if we can't purge it from away from us, let us come away from it. Let us not glaze over these passages without realizing that the warnings they bring to our attention, how little leaven, just a little leaven, just tolerating the littlest of things can be a dangerous thing, my brothers and sisters. There's a thing called quid pro quo. The practice of quid pro quo promotes equal shared time or actions. Some may know it more simply described as I scratch your back, you scratch my back. If I listen to you, you have to listen to me. Many have succumbed to use this practice, unaware that sometimes things just need to be cut off. Many have come to use this practice. Bear with me a second, my brothers and sisters. You know, actually, I'm going to go ahead and continue. I see this mistake that I want to correct, but it would take more of your precious time, so I will continue. Many have succumbed to use this practice and unaware that sometimes things just need to be cut off, my brothers and sisters. You see, there are those that say, just give me the same respect I gave you. Thinking that this walk is an equal trade. When it comes to knowing enough, it sometimes requires us to seek sound advice, teachings, discerning and understanding, as well as good counsel. We must know that sometimes if we know a person is speaking wickedness, just because they listen to our position and our stance on set-apartness doesn't mean we have to listen or entertain their wickedness. Quid pro quo is not always a healthy thing, in spite of one throwing words that give me the same respect I gave you. Proverbs 15:22, come with me there, my brothers and sisters. It says, without counsel, plans go wrong, but by great counsels, they are established. In the King James Version, it may even say, in a multitude of counsel, there is safety. Make sure that it is wise counsel, my brothers and sisters. Proverbs 24:6 say, for by wise guidance, you wage your own battle, and delivery is by a great counselor. However, there are times when even counsel should be and will be cut off. Let us avoid being driven by curiosity. And what I mean by this, sometimes you can have individuals who are undiscerning or unlearned, but they make it look like they can give you wise counsel. You see, we need to be able to know who have earned our attention to be recognized as one capable of giving wise counsel. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. Nehemiah 4:15. For it reads, and it came to be when our enemies heard that it was known to us, and that the Almighty One had brought their counsel to naught, that all of us returned to the wall, everyone to his work. This is an example of the Almighty Father bringing counsel to naught. Just because someone shows you the scripture doesn't mean you have to take any type of counsel. My brothers and sisters, do not let someone strong arm you or influence you to give up precious time for something that is wicked. We spend too much time falling for or letting our curiosities carry us away from set-apart matters. You see, the enemy loves to entice us and seduce us with things that stir our curiosities. But knowing enough sometimes require us to just cut it off and stop things in their track. Focus is of the utmost importance when it comes to knowing enough. Consider Proverbs 4:20 through 22, my brothers and sisters. And I'll continue reading more. But listen here. It says, my son, listen to my words and incline your ear to my saying. Let them not depart from your eyes. Guard them in the midst of your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and healing to all their flesh. Stay with me, my brothers and sisters. This is about focus. It goes on to say, watch over your heart with all diligence, for out of it comes the sources of life. This is talking about the spirit of a man. You'll find in passages of scripture where it talks about the heart being wicked. That's talking about the brain that can be programmed, conditioned, and abused. But the heart in this case is talking about the spirit of a man. Watch over your spirit with all diligence, for it's the sources of life. For we will discover that that's where our spirit is joined with the spirit of Yahuah by way of his spirit that was sent in the name of Yahusha. It say, turn away from a crooked mouth, and turn out and put perverse lips from you. Let your eyes look forward and your eyelids look straight before you. Consider the path of your feet, and your ways are established. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil. My brothers and sisters, when we see that it is evil, when we know that it's evil, turn away from it. Walk away. Don't look back. People who tend to show us pictures of wicked holidays or evil images, whether they be sexual, demonic, wicked in any fashion. Some of them want to show these colorful pictures. Someone wants to do a lot of talk centered around the picture. We are not oblivious to what is wicked in some of these pictures that they show. Turn away from them. Take them off your page if you're on social media. Encourage your brother and sister not to show us pictures. Don't underestimate that we cannot identify when it's wicked. Some people may be escaping lust. And for you to keep popping wicked and provocative pictures up saying, I'm just trying to tell you, show you how wicked they are, that might be bringing to remembrance lust that a person is battling with. My brothers and sisters, someone may be escaping demonic strongholds, and you're reminding them of what had them in a snare. My brothers and sisters, knowing enough, it's all that matters. Let's come away. Don't be curious. Don't keep stirring on. Don't keep talking. Don't join in the conversation with someone that's saying, I just want you to know. There are things that are not needed to expose the wiles of the enemy. It is time to realize that knowing enough proves that by cutting some things off quickly, we can devote that time, that minute, those seconds towards something better. The conversation towards something better. Wicked imagery, narratives, videos, and more are all too often, distract and sometimes get more attention than the matters of set-apartness, doing what is right. Yashar'al, Yashar'al. When someone wants to show you and tell you what they're going to do and all this and that regarding the wicked ones, let them know my desire is to focus on what Yahusha wants me to do, what he wants me to learn, what he wants me to share. Understand when knowing enough is good enough. Avoid excuses such as one thinking it is necessary to show you wicked pictures or evil things in order for you to learn how to be strong. This is not true, my brothers and sisters. Not true at all. Let me continue, my brothers and sisters. When it comes to knowing enough, beware. There are too many entertainers with narratives regarding the wiles of Satan. I submit to you, Adam and Eve knew enough to rebuke the serpent. They were given precise instructions not to eat of the forbidden fruit. They were seduced by the wicked narratives that the serpent put before them. Let us know how to be prayerful and watchful and manage our curiosities and be focused, O Yashar'al. Be focused while we're spectators entertaining what these undiscerning and unlearned teachers and leaders and provocateurs present before us. If we don't realize we know that that's wicked, if we don't know that enough, quick enough, we might find ourselves being seduced and entertained by it. Come with me to Proverbs 4, 5 through 7, and 13 and 14. Fourth chapter Proverbs 4, 5 through 7 says, Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not leave her and let her guard you. Love her. Let her watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding, my brothers and sisters. Drop down to the 13th and 14th verse. Say, become strong in discipline. Do not let go. Watch over her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wrong, and do not walk in the way of evildoers. No matter what narratives they put before you, if you know that you know what they are showing you is wicked, turn away, walk away. That time you use to walk away could be time you walking closer to something waiting there just for you. Let me re-emphasize, as I talk often, the passage in Colossians 4:5, it says, walk in wisdom towards those without, those outside, redeeming the time. Time, the value of a minute, the value of seconds are important. My brother, my sister, knowing enough. We don't have to always go through the smell, the sight, the conversation, the debates over things that are wicked. Step away, walk away. Know this, my brothers and sisters, it is okay to cut things off quickly and press forward. So we don't find ourselves going down a rabbit hole, so to speak. We do not have to explain our decisions to those who just want to argue or debate frivolously, who want to consume time unnecessarily. Yashar'al, do not take these words for granted. Let us develop keen senses by prayer and seeking to discern what the Spirit of Yahuah, which comes in Yahusha's name, as it is written, has to say regarding the matter. What does the Spirit of Yahuah tells us? What is our guide, our teacher, telling us? Know how to turn and walk away. Know when knowing enough is enough. My brothers and sisters, if we fail to discern how knowing enough is critical, it places us in the presence of wicked leaven. Remember, I talked about a little leaven can leaven the whole lump. This could be applied to assemblies of all sizes, all groups. Rise up, O set apart family. Take actions that prove we can exercise wise judgment regarding knowing enough. Know when to step away. If necessary, run away and flee. Know when to be strong and stand firm. Know how to trust and believe the living guidance of the Almighty Father. You may think these two words, were not necessary to speak on for this length of time. But for those who absorb these words, those who pray and meditate on these words, these two words might just be the strength to walk away, to not argue, to not debate. Just may be the strength to cut somebody off so you can get on the boat that is leaving, or get in the car or the truck or the vehicle that is leaving, or the plane that is leaving. You see, there will be some so busy arguing or so curious to learn more about wickedness that they'll miss their ride. They'll miss the opportunity to get out of the way of that earthquake, that tsunami, that bomb. I'm not trying to bring about fear-mongering, but I want you to know the realities of what's happening during these end times and how we manage time and where we put ourselves in different points of time, periods of time, will make a difference of what happens in our lives going forward. What say you, O Yashar'al? Can you bear witness that this message can provide a little tidbit of encouragement or more? Help me, O Yashar'al. Subscribe, share, and like. Help utilize the algorithm so that we can share the things that brothers and sisters share before one another, to grow stronger in set-apartness, to improve in worship, to prepare and act in a way that will fulfill what is expected from the Almighty Father. Enough said for this segment, my brothers and sisters. If you listen from beginning to end, as I say, and I'll say again, I salute you and I thank you. I end with these words, my brother, my sister, my family. Shalum.